everyone. Thank you for joining TokenMinds Academy, the first lesson of NFT Marketing, how to grow your NFT Discord server. Just before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Anchor from TokenMinds. I'm a kind of manager of for the client's projects. And so far, we actually been working together with over 100 crypto NFT projects starting from 2016. Then we have been working with some presidents such as Flores, Gansukeshi, MML for their token sale and NFT drop. Here together with me is Chris. He's our community lead. Hi, Chris. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chris. So I'm the community lead for TokenMinds. Me and Andrew are actually working together in different projects. So we handle different projects like community building and then the marketing.
All right, thank you, Chris. So here in this lesson, since it's the first one, so we'll actually brief like some general information about how to grow a community, which is super important for the new projects for no matter NFT or DeFi or crypto projects. So here, the first one we'll talk about how to create a well-organized server. This I will leave to Chris, so our community lead. So Chris, please explain more on this one.
In order to grow community and your Discord server, number one, you set it up properly first. So one of my pet peeves when I'm coming into community server or a Discord server for one project is an unorganized server. Why? For me, it should always be professional. So in Web3, this is not just something like management. Of course, we face with different community members, some of which are potential investors for projects. So I suggest if you want to have like a good community, you will start with setting your community properly. So with the server side, so perform and create nice channels, then set it up properly. So usually what I do is that I set it up with the verification and then the rules, of course, as a starter. So for the proper onboarding of your members, and then also avoiding some bots coming into your server. So perform verification that they are human, then they get to read the rules to ensure that there is a safe environment. And then I set it up in a way that number one, as a potential investor, I need to see the things about the project. So here I put up the official links, the information about the project on the About Us. So anything related to the project, what's in it for us, why do we want to become part of this community, and then what are the backgrounds of the founders. We also try to dox the founders as much as possible, or the core team members, because on an investor standpoint, an investor mindset standpoint, you would want to know about this project's background in terms of the team doing the things that they are planning. So if you see that the core members are really, capable of doing so with regards to their background, then you check their background. Of course, it will give the potential investors or the community members more confidence about the project. So what we want is to build with the community. So in order to do that, people should gain confidence in your project first, then they will support you. So not only the people on the team will be doing the building, but also the contributions of the community members are required. So in order to do this, the first step is to gain their confidence. So show everything, spread more awareness about or knowledge about your project through this channel. Okay, and we also put different channels, for example, Twitter integration, so they see right there and then the updates from your Twitter. So with people also, they want a sense of progress in every community or every project they are coming in. So to make them more confident about the project that there's something is progressing. So you give them a sense of progress. You also give them some channels to be updated, like announcement channels and Twitter updates channels. Then apart from that, of course, I use for aesthetic purposes, I use not the normal way of chatting as well. I use different embed bots like this one from Me6 bot premium. So we use graphics, we use embed message functions, and then for the links, we use hyperlink text like this one on the screen, so that it will be more professionally looking and pleasant to the eye. So instead of just putting blocks of messages there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris. So let's go to the next slides. Can I share some knowledge about the content, right, in the Discord, the compelling content plan?
So in addition to creating the channels properly, we also share compelling content. So when you say compelling content, these are not contents that are just plain block of text giving information. So of course, not all people are fond of reading lengthy messages, etc. So here we incorporate some contents like graphics into the announcements, into the information that you are trying to share in your community, and then we create the messages or the posts that we do in a way that there are some proper highlighting as well. For example, here we put an emphasis on different text or headers with using the bold italizations, and then we also put some emojis so it looks better. And then of course for me, the proper spacing, so in some posts that we have, we also do that. Okay, so of course the graphics that you should be posting is related to the one you are announcing, so it's really a good way as well. Because people they don't like to read that much, they are more on visual, etc. So you support your text through this graphic content, and then make it concise, make the messaging straight to the point, and not so lengthy and beating around the bush. So these are the things that I can suggest to make people read your post actually, because in Discord there will be a lot of projects wherein people come in server to server, and then you will definitely not get their attention if you post just a block of text with lengthy messaging and then beating around the bush, compared to these kinds of stuff that you post graphics together with the text or messaging that you are trying to deliver or convey to community members, and it's straight to the point.
Okay, thank you, Chris. So yeah, in general, that's about community setup and also all the content plans, etc. We'll also share more details specifically about those parts in the next events. And for this time, we will also cover some general information about how to do the marketing for Discord growth. So here, we for the social media marketing, as we said, right, it's quite basic things. It's not only for Web3 but Web2, and also for the conventional industry. So in this case, for the social media, what I normally do, for sure, first we need to have a good plan for all the social media that we want to focus on. For example, in this Web3, right, for always people know of is something like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and even Reddit. In this case, sometimes we need a really concrete content plan, and really get sharing some interesting things, right, and also the uniqueness or the key points about each project, and share there. And this needs to be ongoing, just so we can keep the continuous hype on this. And for the community engagement, for sure, it's also important. This I will also leave to Chris. And also for airdrop is something we, especially from the beginning of the project, that we really need some initial engagement, and also people join first, especially from the beginning when the project is really hard to actually get some people join the Discord or the social media. So it's very effective. It's almost like some giveaways, rewarding, and motivate people to join. So Chris, in this case, can you explain further about these 2 points? So point 2 and 3.
Yeah. Just to add, social media marketing. I also see some effective people getting your project on the short. So, because when you create learning and interesting videos regarding your project here, many people will actually see it. And for community engagement, of course, it's really good way to get more members by people who are actually inside already your Discord server. So in order for them to invite or entice more people who can be interested in your project, of course, you would set up community engagement, better community engagement. So you can do those things with different events that can spread awareness about the project. Sometimes we do here also some Kahoot quiz. So for example, you post any information in the channels about the project, but then some people would not read it. So what we do is that we run events with different rewards like Kahoot quiz, so that they will actually review the information about the project, and then they will get to win on the quiz because they answer correctly, something like that. Then we spread also awareness through different events on social media, like events requiring them to share something. Yeah. Then for airdrop, we do these things also, like with the airdrop for Gleam, Swift Widget, and Premint. So in here, these platforms require some tasks, like example, follow Twitter, join Discord, follow Telegram, follow on YouTube, something. These tasks, when the members do it, they get a raffle entry to the raffle. So with the raffle, they can win different rewards such as USDT rewards, NFT airdrops, token airdrops. Okay, so they partake in this actual airdrop campaign to take this chance to win of this. And of course, with that, they are able to join. So the number of followers, the number of members in your groups, Telegram platforms, Twitter, Discord actually increases with this. So as a support to your project startup. So this is an initial step in community building.
All right, thank you, Chris. By the way, everyone, for the social media marketing, as I just mentioned, it's very important with really a content plan before we kick a start on the social media, or everything like a promotion management. So for this part, we will also explain further in the next events as well. With our content manager will be involved to explain further about the content plan and the points actually we need to focus on and emphasize for the content based on each project or concept. And about the PR marketing, it's also very important with really a very unique content created for each project. So in this case, for example, we need to include some background, right? Because for almost all the people who know this, who want to know this new project, they don't know anything before they join the project. So normally when they first visit the website and get more information about the project on the news or PR, they actually can got already overview of everything about the project. Okay, the background about that, the team, and their uniqueness, the technologies. In this case, it's very important we get all the uniqueness and also the USP and also the competitive points for this project in a PR as well. So normally for the distribution, it actually has some similarity with the conventional PR distribution. So something we can consider here, like 3 points here. So first part, that for those conventional ones like issue Y or PZY or something like that, we can actually do a mass distribution to like hundreds of thousands of media. But this media, the good part is that we can do actually a large quantity of these and make it a good coverage to all of the world. And also, it is actually quite convenient and fast actually for the whole progress. We just contact with the PR agency and they can distribute in like 1 week or something with a report. And second, the bad part is that it's normally not really so focused on the Web3 like crypto media or NFT or crypto, right? So the second solution normally here is that we also suggest to do some crypto media or blog that really focus on their Web3 audiences. For example, the top ones I think everybody knows, right? Like Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, or Decrypt. So these ones, for sure, these ones is something is quite high budget. So we normally suggest to do that for a company really has in a budget. For sure, it will help for the brand building or awareness building. And also some other like tier 1.5 media like crypto, CoinSpeaker, ZY Crypto, CoinAdo, etc. This can also have built a more cost-effective even. And third part is about some premium PR, not really those crypto media, but premium PR such as Forbes or Bloomberg, Yahoo. This can also have a lot based on our analyze. Actually, there are also a lot of potential investors, more like accredited investors on those kind of big media. They are more like a business owners. They are actually personal investors, VC and funds. So in this case, we can also get some like more credit investors on board to the project. This is for the PR marketing part. And for influencer marketing, it's also very one of very top direct marketing solution for the NFT and crypto projects in this case. So by working with the top influencers, that really can get the growth of the community in the Discord. But in this case, for the influencer, we also noticed there are a lot of like Shilla promoters online. Those are not really influencers because those the followers quality are lower. Maybe some like a lot of retail investors or people just seeking for rewards or something. So normally, what we suggest to guys on new project to do is that to do really some good after research on the influencers based on the the project that they worked together with before, based on the performance, check their followers, quality, and also the comments, right? To make sure that we really work with those good influencers. So that is about these slides. So let's go to the next one. So for this one, I think I've still leave that to Chris. So Chris can explain more about how to collab with blue chip projects and alpha groups.
Another great way to build your server. This is actually one of the pending strategies to build your server is connect, network, and collaborate with other communities. So for example, these communities like for the Yacht Club, Googles, Cyberclones, yeah, if you have some sort of connections with this blue chip project and also some alpha groups that are really big, like for example, Underground, Search Fee, so Korean alpha groups. So if you have connections to these alpha groups, you make connections. Certainly, when you collaborate with them through AMAs, like you discuss about your project in an AMA, there will be like thousands of members listening, and then potentially those who will be interested in your project will partake and join your server as well. Then if there are whitelist giveaways, of course, if your project is really something which shows really promising utility, promising things that gives value to its members, and I am a member of this blue chip project, then I saw your collaboration like by this giveaway. So when I reviewed the project and I became interested, I will definitely come into your server. I will definitely with your server, partake in everything just to get that whitelist spot, for example. So this is a good thing. Of course, you make things in your project and in your server valuable to make it interesting. So, of course, the utility in your project should be highlighted. So it should be set at its best to make people interested. So I've seen a lot of projects as well. Like they had worked with this blue chip projects with the previous project. So somehow they already create some network with these guys. And then when they launch a new project, even without the contents yet, even without some activities and events or engagement things happening in the server, they still have a lot of members. So this is the power of collaborating and networking with these established groups already. But then, of course, not all projects will have the luxury to have networks with this. So this is like a long term to try and get partner to this group. So if that's the case, you can still target to collaborate with other projects. So there can be other projects which are still starting or they already started post mint. They have relatively nice engagement in their communities as well. So I suggest you look for these projects, these servers, and also collaborate with them. So collaboration, not only the whitelist giveaways, the whitelist exchange for these projects, but also it's better if you do, for example, a Twitter space or Discord, share the image to talk about your projects. The setup should always be a win-win. So when collaborating, so you offer them something in exchange for something that you could be. So it's not always one thing. So it should always be a win.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. So for this kind of blue chip, it's not really some right thing we can already new project achieve right from beginning. It's actually a long term thing. So normally we'll suggest right starting right from really focus on outreach into some targeted ones like close to the each project concept. And then once we bridge bridge that wall and also collab with one or two of them, we can also expand the connection by the existing connections. So that will be really very effective
So
and really help to contribute to the sale. Yeah.
you can also create these connections with different people by attending. Number one, for example, they are hosting some Twitter space. You attend there first, be there, like support them first. Then try to network with them so they also support you. Something like that. So you will know more people, support them, and they will acknowledge you, and you can have a connection.
Yeah, we also suggest that for each project, that at least they have someone dedicated to this kind of collab outreach, or really focus on building this network. Because this, based on what we observe, it is still super important during the whole process of the NFT marketing. So it's super important. All right, let's go to the next slides. So have an active Discord server. So Chris, maybe you can also let me play this with you.
Yeah. So of course, you don't want or that server, so there should be a lot of engagement. So from the usual chats that you see here in the general chats, you can boost your server engagement actually by doing some events. Can you do the next slide?
Okay, sure. Right.
Yeah. So in our case, apart from the announcement, the content posts that we are doing, we're also hosting community events. So these events are not only the usual Dartic Walk games, mini games event for fun. So you can also create some events that tap on the creativity of your members. So if you are a community of artists, for example, you tap on their creativity. So ask them to create something. Like for example, here we create an event wherein they will write a nice storyline based on this artwork NFT. So then to spread awareness about the project, of course, we ask them as a task to share it on Twitter using specific hashtags. Then they will get some rewards like whitelist, USDT rewards, things like that. And then sometimes, because in the Web3 space, people always like to do discussions, right? So sometimes you also create some events that harnesses that, so gives them a podium or platform to discuss. So we're having some table talk events as well, time to time, wherein yeah they can discuss anything they want related to NFT. So share ideas. Yeah, this is something that makes a community engaged. So if
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people see a lot of engagement in the server, they will definitely want to partake in comparison to if they don't see anything any event happening. So it seems like that server is idle. So yeah, try our best to the server as good and as active as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Maybe based on this topic, for focus on the niche, I will show first my idea. Maybe Chris will also have some other ideas, right, or knowledge to share with you guys. So for sure, this is mainly like involved more like about the content plan, and then we really actually come up with suggest to come up with a really dedicated content plan and avoid those too generic content, graphic, etc. Because for each project the concept is totally different, but we always can find some difference between each project. And in this case, we'll find actually the most attractive part from the project and then really design and work on the content plan specifically because people always want to see something unique and new and creative instead of like generic contents that actually can be used as templates for all of those kind of crypto and NFT projects. In this case, it's actually actually give a really good impression to those visitors, and they also will to share and to their acquaintance and family and friends. So this is important. For this is also a content plan. So maybe next time we can also share more in the next event. So Chris, you have any other knowledge to share about this part?
So focusing on the niche as well. For example, if you are a Web3 project focusing on games, of course, your content should be something relatable to gamers. So it's not that you post something out from another Web3 project, you just copy it and then you paste it. So you create your own, you make it unique to that niche. And another example, if you are an art collection NFT wherein it's like a real life art turned into an NFT. Of course, the things that you will be doing, the engagement events that you will be creating for that server or the contents you will be posting, that server should be post uh, focusing specifically on that niche. So if they are interested in art collection, you highlight mainly on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for also sharing your experience on this. Okay, so for next slides, let's collaborate with influencers. For this, we also already discussed in the first slides, but in here, I would just want to emphasize again for this kind of influencers, right? For sure, we need to keep in mind. So first, we need to really find those top influencers. Normally, if you see some text on their Twitter account or like no matter Instagram something, if you see okay the holders of like CryptoPunk or Bored Apes, and you just verified it's okay, then for sure this kind of guys normally more That means that actually they are really into this grid field, not really like those shell promoters. They worked with already some other projects as well. But in this case, we also need to check if that work, if the quality of the performance of the last collaboration between them and also the project actually worked well. For example, we also can connect some like do some due diligence research before we working with any like those kind of influencers. Like okay, check with those projects that work with how actually they perform and are they responsible enough. For this kind of collab, it's not only those kind of like whitelist giveaway. We just uh, saw that some projects just gave after some whitelist to these influencers and they post or give us some like ETH or USDT to them. They just post one single post. It's not like that. It's more like for deeper collaboration. For example, if for new projects they can outreach to a really good influencer that work together for deep collaboration. For like okay, they involved in the project, they will actually be there promoting for one of the projects from beginning to the end, and even after the NFT is listed, and they can help actually to promote in their channel and also get some connection from his acquaintance, other influencers to really help to grow the floor price, etc. So this is super important. So in general, first the quality of the influencer. Second is quality and quality of collaboration. Like what kind of collaboration seeking for? Normally we suggest like a deeper collaboration, so they can actually be there to support your projects from beginning to the end. Third is always right, for sure, keep always a good connection with those influencers that you checked and qualified. And then they can also help you to build your high level, high quality influencer network as well, which also help with the post minting and also in the future development plans for your project. Chris, you have any ideas on this as well? You can share.
Well, it's really important as well, as we mentioned in the previous slide, you specifically choose them based on the niche of the project. So, example, your project is more gaming. Look for influencers related to gaming because majority of their followers would be coming from you. You can always choose someone who talks about NFT, etc. in general, but it's really better in marketing, like to focus on one single niche or one single group, so, because they will relatively be more interested in things related to the same niche.
All right. By the way, just something else to share. For this kind of top influencer, they also normally have their own community, like in Discord. They can also consider like work together with for like MA, Twitter Space, for sure. They also sometimes has like YouTube and other channels. So they and Instagram, etc. So this all something that we suggest the project to once they work with them right in a deep collaboration solution way, then they can always do right take advantage of those all those platforms and do the promotion for the projects. All right, thank you everyone. That is all for today's lesson. This is my like more some very broad and general overview of all the knowledge here we share today with the Discord for the Discord growth strategy. And thank you everyone for joining. And if you have any questions, you can leave notes or just leave notes. So we can actually give you permission. You can actually talk and ask questions directly. Or you can also directly leave your questions in the chat box so we can answer.